and welcome to another AB Talks. I'm delighted to be joined today by Anne Beggs from Invest Northern Ireland, and we're here today to discuss trade relations, the importance of trade. Seen recently, Standard Chartered have predicted that global trade is set to double by 2030. The UAE is listed as a key market in that. The UAE sits at an intersection of trade around the world. It's very much at the center of trade across the Middle East, Northern Africa, and Asia. By 2030, Standard Chartered predicts the UAE exports to hit $299 billion, a very large number with over 6% growth a year. Anne, thank you for joining me and welcome to the show.
Hi Matthew, good to be here.
So firstly, I think maybe it would make sense if we're talking about this issue and the importance of trade. How important are these relationships between countries? And specifically speaking about where you are, why don't you talk me through the relationship that Northern Ireland has with the Middle East and with the UAE?
Yes, of course. So Northern Ireland has a long history in terms of trade with the Middle East. So Invest Northern Ireland, we're the economic development agency for the region of Northern Ireland. And we've had a presence in the region for 25 years. Our Dubai office is our regional headquarters for our IMEA region, the India, Middle East and Africa region. And in the course of our 25-year history, we've seen some fantastic success stories for Northern Ireland in the Middle East region. Everything from Northern Irish businesses being involved in setting up the world's largest dairy farm. Northern Irish businesses being involved in the renovation of the Dome of the Rock. Carpets made in Northern Ireland being laid in Dubai's 7-star hotel. Northern Irish universities partnering to create the first medical school in Dubai. And a little known fact perhaps, over 90% of the sand that is used in construction in Qatar is washed by machinery made in Northern Ireland, which is a little bit of a did you know kind of fact. And that all really amounts to quite a substantial level of trade between Northern Ireland and the Middle East. And when we first set up in the Dubai region, we set up an incubation centre in the World Trade Centre in Dubai. And that was used as a hub for Northern Irish businesses to come out, explore the region and really set down, I guess, some roots in the region. So at the current time, I think between the graduates of that incubation centre and Northern Irish companies who have a very strong interest in developing business in the Middle Eastern region, there's something like 30 or 35 companies from Northern Ireland that have an on-the-ground presence in the Middle East. So Matthew, that all builds to actually quite a significant level of trade. So in recent years, for example, the UAE market, exports from Northern Ireland are in the region of about 1.5 billion Emirati dirham. So it's quite a significant level for a relatively small economy like Northern Ireland. So hopefully that gives you a flavour of our journey and the importance of the Middle Eastern market to us here in Northern Ireland.
Okay, well, thank you for the historical overview of Northern Ireland's relationship with the Middle East. I appreciate the little facts that you threw in there as well. Always especially interesting to hear a touch of trivia. A bit now for the moment, though, what kind of opportunities does the future hold? What kind of sectors have traditionally seen the most interest? Will the same sectors, do they keep cropping up? And what does the future hold in general for Northern Ireland and the Middle East?
Okay, so at the current time, about 50% of our exports from Northern Ireland to the Middle East come from advanced manufacturing and the waste recycling, materials handling sectors. But in addition to that, we have a number of companies providing street furniture in the Coca-Cola arena. We have companies involved in the fit out of the Motion Gate theme park as well. You will, if you visit many of Dubai's top hotels, you will be treading on carpet manufactured in Northern Ireland in places like the Sofitel, the Marriott, Conrad. And also you'll find a range of consumer goods produced in Northern Ireland available in the region as well. Everything from natural wipes to baby bath products to Denman hairbrushes to oats made in Northern Ireland from White's oats. So a vast range of produce coming from Northern Ireland into the market. We also have a significant traction in the Middle East region with our education technology solutions. So we have a number of companies working with, for example, Dubai's Knowledge and Human Development Authority, with the Dubai Autism Centre, the Latifa School for Girls and Zayed University. So again, there's a great diversity in terms of what we have to the market. The excellence of our two world-class universities, Queen's University and Ulster University, have been really recognised in the region as well. So Queen's was selected by Dubai Healthcare City to partner to create Dubai's first medical school in the Mohammed bin Rashid University of Medical and Health Sciences. So that's really speaks to our expertise in that space. And the Ulster University is engaging with a wide range of connections across the region with the Abu Dhabi Police, the government of Fujairah and Ajman University as well, and working on a number of other developments. So you can see across the piece in terms of what we bring to the region, there is a great diversity, a good level of performance, but a lots of future promise. To come to the second part of your question, Matthew, in terms of the investment proposition, we are a small region. We have a population of about 1.9 million inhabitants, but my goodness, we punch well above our weight in terms of attracting a foreign direct investment. We're home to over 1,200 internationally owned businesses. And what we find is when our investors come in here, they reinvest, such as the positivity of their experience. And that success and our attractiveness is really down to a number of factors. It's down to the skills, the talent and the work ethic of our people. Our competitive cost base, we've really competitive operating costs here in Northern Ireland. We've excellent infrastructure. We have a strong research base here as well, which is attractive to investors, and overall really offer a very supportive, business-friendly environment. So I spoke about our size, but that's really a benefit to us in terms of being a small economy. We can work very nimbly, working between industry, academia and government to come up with really bespoke solutions for investors. And in terms of our positioning, we are ideally located, I guess, between mainland Europe and the US, which gives us quite a pivotal position in terms of time zones and access to markets as well. So in terms of the established clusters that we have to date in terms of foreign direct investment, we have established clusters in digital technologies such as fintech, medtech and cybersecurity, all the way through to areas such as precision medicine, aerospace, materials handling, and continuing into the professional services. And that track record and the pre-existence of those clusters is really important to investors. Investors want to come in and be part of an established cluster. And that's not just me doing the sales pitch, I guess, for Northern Ireland, or of course that is my role, but don't just take it from me. I mean, we have a whole range of accolades. So for example, the Financial Times FDI Intelligence publication rated Northern Ireland as one of the top 10 digital economies of the future. We are the top region for mobile investment in fintech globally, and we are the #1 choice of US cybersecurity companies looking to have investors or an alternative investment location, excuse me. So we're clearly a small economy, but we have big ambitions. So as we look ahead, we have an ambitious vision for what the economy of Northern Ireland will look like under our 10x vision for the future. And that's built around core pillars of innovation, sustainability, and inclusivity is really at the heart of that economic strategy. And it hones in on clusters where we know we have an established strength and our priority clusters for us to develop as we move forward in Northern Ireland. Clusters such as digital ICT and creative, agri-technology, life and health sciences, advanced engineering and manufacturing, and fintech and financial services. So we've already had considerable success, but we really have a lot of potential for the future, and we're really excited about what the future has to hold for the economy of Northern Ireland.
So that sounds very exciting, and obviously all the plans that you have for the future and this history that you have regarding the Middle East and the awards that you've won. Congratulations on those, and thank you not for listing all of them. We're obviously speaking at an interesting time. I mean, we're speaking over Zoom and having this interview over Zoom, which I think is something that would have been unheard of a couple of years ago. We're speaking pandemic, nearly post-pandemic, post-COVID-19. So tell me, how do you see Northern Irish companies trading between themselves and the Middle East post-pandemic? What's changed? Where have the advantages grown up, and where have the challenges cropped up?
Yeah, so the pandemic undoubtedly, Matthew, created challenges for businesses around the world, of course. But what I would say in terms of the characteristics of Northern Irish companies is they're very much characterised by a can-do attitude. So at the height of the pandemic, you will have found Northern Irish companies demonstrating an immense sense of resilience, flexibility and ingenuity, and particularly within the Middle Eastern markets, talked about that kind of cadre of companies that that have boots on the ground, over 30 businesses that have a presence in the Middle East. That's also supported by a very strong diaspora network for Northern Ireland in the region. And what we found at the height of the pandemic was really all of those connections really being leveraged and coming into play, with people sharing ideas about how to forge a pathway through the pandemic. And that's a very Northern Irish trait, kind of, I guess, to come together and try and find solutions. The pandemic, of course, as I'm sure you've heard from other commentators, created niche opportunities for particular industries. So some sectors from Northern Ireland that have done, incredibly well include technology, med tech, ed tech, fintech, pretty much all of the techs, and healthcare. So for example, Randox Laboratories were selected by Pure Health UAE, which is the UAE's biggest lab network, to be the tester of choice for airline passengers flying into the UAE. And we also have had success in the region with throughout the pandemic for companies from Northern Ireland. Yellow Design specialise in AR, VR. And I suppose we've continued to build throughout the pandemic on the success of that materials handling and waste recycling sector. So again, in the time of the pandemic, a Northern Irish business called Kyver Co was selected to design, build and install a waste recycling plant for all of the construction and demolition waste from the Red Sea project in Saudi Arabia. So that's another massive win for Northern Ireland, and that's all been happening throughout the pandemic. So Northern Ireland's appetite for engaging in opportunities in the region has been undimmed and undeterred by the pandemic. We have pivoted, like everybody has had to a very strong kind of virtual approach to things, even from our own custom and practice. Last 10 years, to promote products and services from Northern Ireland and the region, we've done something like 50 major exhibitions within Dubai. In the course of the last year, we pivoted to virtual and done something like 20 virtual exhibitions. So we're all in the same place, but we can start to see things opening up, people really having a hunger when restrictions allow and conditions allow, really to get back face to face. And that's why we're really looking forward to the Northern Ireland Day at the Dubai World Expo in a couple of weeks' time.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth. The next question I was going to ask you was all about Northern Ireland's participation in Dubai's Expo 2020. Huge event, very successful so far. Tell me a little bit about what we can expect to see from Northern Ireland at Expo 2020.
Yes, so this is the first time Northern Ireland has participated as a sponsor of the UK pavilion. So we're tremendously excited about that. It's the first time for us to tell our story really on the world stage. And since October last year, we've had a really stellar lineup of speakers and subject matter experts from Northern Ireland, really engaging on the Expo Majlis, on some themed weeks, talking about every kind of global challenge, all the way through from food security to cybersecurity, sustainability, and even how to set up and create a TV company. So, we've had something like 25 speakers across a vast range of subject matter already. So that speaks to the diversity of talent from Northern Ireland. But yes, as I said, as of today, there is a massive buzz as we look forward to the Northern Ireland Day on the 16th of February, when we will effectively take over the UK pavilion and really use it as a platform to showcase our strengths as a region. So on the 16th of February, visitors coming to the UK Pavilion will be able to learn about our innovation journey, right back from our engineering heritage to present day innovations, and looking forward to where we want to go to in the future. We'll also be celebrating global names from Northern Ireland from a culture, arts, leisure, literature perspective. And of course, Northern Ireland has provided, again, this may be a little known fact, but Northern Ireland has provided backdrop to Game of Thrones in terms of its landscape. So in terms of how we activate within the UK Pavilion, there will be a nod to the spectacular landscape from Northern Ireland that many Game of Thrones fans will be familiar with. And of course, then in addition to all of that, on the Northern Ireland Day, there'll be a range of talks, panel sessions and content, some of which focuses on specific matters such as the circular economy. And we will talk about kind of the role that Northern Irish businesses are having in that whole journey of waste piece. But then more broadly, we have content around Destination NI, which is really the story about how Northern Ireland is a place that you really have to consider as as being a great contender, as a place to visit, study, work, invest, and to do business. So hopefully across the piece, Matthew, there's something from everybody, but we're really excited about that.
Well, I look forward to seeing it all in person. And that's everything from me. Do you have any final thoughts you'd like to add before we wrap up?
No, I think probably just in terms of the Middle East, to kind of come full circle of where we started, we have a strong presence within the Middle East market from a Northern Ireland perspective. I've spoken about the performance that we've had to date in terms of really many of the success stories, and I hope I've given a sense of the promise that the Middle East market shows for Northern Ireland as well.
Well, I'm sure I speak for everyone when we look forward to seeing how that develops, and also look forward to the Northern Irish Day of Dubai Expo. Anne, thank you for joining us. I appreciate your time, and goodbye to everyone else.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Matthew.